Let's go, everyone, for game number 1 of the next series. Taking a look at the right-hand side, Dark's playing Britons. In Classic Pro, he's playing on the left-hand side with Hindustanis. This being the Empire Wars series that we are going to get. We start already in the Fuel Age. And Dark seems to be the first player to go for a military building, right? Because... oh, no, it's actually going to be a stable for both these guys. A stable for Britons is always interesting to see, and it's going to be alright as long as the other guy does not get bloodlines. For the rest, it's going to be okay, I guess. There we go, nice. Scout goes down from Classic Pro. It's a very nice start from Dark already, despite the fact that he's the one playing Britons. Now for the Scout trade anyway. Oh, that is not good for Dark though! Good reaction time, however. Swift reaction time. He does pull the Scout away. He's going to go back towards the rest of his army. He can really take the engagement over here because HP pool is still higher for Classic Pro despite having fewer units. However, with the 4th Scout over here, that changes in favor of Dark, and we see an extra Scout coming over for Classic Pro over here, and it's going to change in favor of Classic Pro once again. It's really close. There's a Spearman from Dark already out. Not really sure where it is though. No, it's back home, just defending. And a few archers coming out from Dark already. Well, Classic Pro, on the other hand, I'm not really sure if he's gone for an archer range yet. It's very common to see a transition into skirmishers, or an addition of skirmishers after starting going for scouts. But Classic Pro does not seem to be particularly interested in going for that, so instead, he's closing himself up. Yeah. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to see Dark going for the same, so it seems like we're going to have a fairly uneventful game until we get to the Castle Age anyway. There we go. Nice. So far, so good overall. Classic Pro is going to be the first player to go out to the Castle Age in Dark. Yeah, as expected, he shouldn't take too much longer to go out to the Castle Age himself as well. And it's just going to be pretty peaceful, pretty uneventful until we get to the next stage. Regardless, we can see though, we can get glimpses of what it is that the players will go for. Classic Pro is already getting an archer range. So we're going to see skirmishers come out for him. Hindustanis, they do not really have a particularly strong archer range, as they do not get arbalesters, they do not get fully upgraded cavalry archers anymore. Well, they never got, but, you know, before Indians was split into 4 different civilizations, they used to get it. That's not going to be the case anymore. So you can't just go for skirmishers for the most part. At the very least, that's going to be the unit that's going to yield the best results. And Dark, on the other hand, he does have archers coming out because he's Britons, right? But he should be expecting skirmishers. Now, if Dark's unit control is good, he should be able to offset for the skirmishers being stronger than the archers by taking advantage of the extra range he gets with these archer units.
Ready.
Yeah.
Mandatum.
Castle Age is here for Classic Pro.
Ready. Yay. Mandatum.
Beautiful. Nice snaps over there from Dark as well.
Ready. Yay. Ready.
It's coming in a moment. Yeah, check the extra range though. That is amazing. Might have lost a scout over there, but he's able to snipe those units from so far away. And Classic Pro's gotta stay. Yeah. It's gotta be on top over here to make sure he does not lose a few villagers over there. It's gotta keep them moving.
Yay.
WSEW crosses are not going to be quite as effective against villagers, right? When they're in motion, but still.
Mandatum.
Classic Pro's gotta keep them on the run.
Yay. Ready. Yay. Mandatum. Ready. Yay. Mandatum.
Beautiful.
Ready. Yay. Mandatum. Ready. Yay.
There we go. Fantastic from Mr. Dark.
Mandatum. Ready.
He's managed to keep on massing the units though, despite the skirmisher presence over here. The great thing about the extra range for Dark as well is that as long as Classic Pro does not get ballistics, it's not going to be particularly difficult for him to prevent taking losses from the skirmishers. All he's got to do is just hit and move, even if he gets within range of Classic Pro's units. It's a little bit more forgiving, as if we had ballistics for Classic Pro, then it wouldn't really be possible for Dark to hit and just run and bail, because the skirmishers will still be able to land the shots. So this is looking a lot better. It's got some knights coming over from each shield.
Mandatum. Ateş. Yay. Ready. Yay.
Here we are. Gotta be careful. We still don't have ballistics, but he's too close. Why is Dark so close? He's trying to prevent the skirmish. He's trying to get closer than the minimum range for the skirmishers, but that's not going to work. Yeah, and he was not paying attention to the units at all, so even if he ends up cleaning up the skirmishers over there, he ended up taking a lot of losses over there. I would say unnecessarily so. He probably would have been able to get a much better trade if he just kept on using the advantage of the extra range and just pulling the units back towards the hill.
Ready. Ateş. Yay.
Here we are.
Ateş.
Beautiful.
Mandatum. Ready. Yay.
The push over here from Dark is looking very strong. And Classic Pro, on the other hand, has been doing a good job defending himself, but he's starting to feel the pressure. He has gone for the extra TCs, and so has Dark. At this point in time, it's about the same population for both, but different distribution with extra workers for Classic Pro and extra military units for Dark instead.
Done. Ready.
Still on the way now for Classic Pro as well. He's already been going for some camels. He doesn't really have too many to work with. And only now he's gone for scale rather than armor, so the units were not particularly strong to speak of. Dark instead, Dark's getting ballistics right now, which is huge for these crossbows, such long range units. Notice the unit control though from Dark. He's keeping the knights in motion, preventing taking any losses over here and healing up. Taking the skirmishers down over here with due time, you know, in due time. Should be possible for him.
Ready.
It's just taking forever because the skirmishers are so strong. Classic Pro's done a really good job going for leather arch armor as well, otherwise these would have been a lot squishier. Yeah, it's taking quite some time for Dark to actually get past the wall of skirmishers over here, and Classic Pro's done a really good job adding more skirmishers into the mix by the minute. So Dark's given up on that. If he had the forward siege workshop to work with as well, he definitely would have been able to get the push going much better, but obviously there is only so much you're going to be able to afford whilst going for 3 TCs, extra farms, and going for a bunch of crosses and knights. And you would say, well, maybe he shouldn't have gone for that many crossbows and maybe just add 1 or 2 mangonels, but the crosses are kind of necessary to protect the knights against the camels as well, so it's kind of an awkward spot for Dark in that regard. He does have a 4th castle coming in though. Classic should have enough stone to go for a defensive castle very soon himself. However, Dark's done a really good job with his eco balance as well. He's going to be the first player going after the Imperial Age, which is huge. That's going to be also due to how heavily Classic Pro's been investing food into skirmishers over here. Plus, Dark has managed to get enough resources to go for yet another castle, so it's going to be 2 castles for him. He's going to be the first player to get to the Imperial Age. I'm not really sure what Classic Pro will be able to do himself to prevent this push. Yeah. From completely suppressing him in the early Imperial Age. And Miguel, thank you so much for the host. Appreciate it. Welcome everyone. We're casting right now Classic Pro versus Dark for the World Series of Empire Wars, taking place until I believe October 16th, if I'm not wrong. In any case, I hope you had a great stream and I hope you guys enjoyed. We're just in game number 1 between Classic Pro and Dark. This is for the quarterfinals, by the way.
Yay.
Ready.
Ready.
Here we go. Castle's on the way for Dark. The second castle we were expected to see. On the other side of the map though, Classic Pro's coming in with a bunch of camels. Doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much here. Because of the TCs, Dark should be able to protect his economy, but he's not garrisoning. And he's not reacting over here. No quick walls around the lumberjacks. Yeah, not really garrisoning enough villagers over here. And the camels will end up getting a lot of damage done. However, Dark also, he's got the push going over here. He's got some momentum himself with both these castles up. Should be able to significantly suppress Classic Pro's defenses once he gets to the Imperial Age. And there we go, Dark's there. He's got to go for trebuchets. And he's got chemistry. He's got bracer coming in. Does not have the resources to keep up a trebuchet, unfortunately, but he definitely needs to go for it. Now he's got the resource to go for the trebuchet. Why is he not going for it? It's just waiting. For what? He's going for arbalisters and chemistry. Well, Britons don't get bombard cannon. Finally, the trebuchet is on the way from the South Castle. Yes, at this point the trebuchet should be coming out already. And he should have a second trebuchet on the way. He does have a third castle coming up, however. So even if Classic Pros get into the Imperial Age himself, Dark should still be able to significantly outproduce the red player for Siege. There's a castle for Classic Pro. Doesn't seem like it's going to do too much. With 2 trebuchets already out for Dark, actually 3 trebuchets. Not really sure where the other one is. Okay, it's right here. He just went for it. With 3 trebuchets, should be able to get the castle from Classic Pro down with no issues whatsoever. And yeah, Classic Pro is gonna be left in 2 trebuchets. Although he's trying to dive in over here, he's been going for a lot of light cavalry. He's getting the trebuchets. He's getting the trebuchets down right now. Dark is coming in too late with the villagers. Actually, he's not even doing much of anything. He's not even trying to repair the trebuchets. He's just going to donate these trebuchets to the Classic Pro, who's going to easily take it. And I'm not really sure about that. You know, Classic Pro has been able to keep the castle up over here, and Dark's got nothing to sustain his push with at all. He's going for Lombos right now, and he's been on a good amount of Arbalesters, but he had the Arbalesters up in the north for the most part. Meanwhile, Classic Pro, he's got the light cavalry coming forward already after taking both trebuchets down. Those light cavalry are getting a lot of value, for sure. We're very soon going to start seeing some villagers go down to the light cavalry. As a matter of fact, you can see it already. Dark gets pushed away by the skirmishers and has not been paying the most attention to his Arbalesters. He's kind of wasting some units away over here. Hey, Crotplasm! And Yuya! Welcome. Reminds me of Shusha. There we are. Yeah, and the light cavalry in the end ended up getting some good villager picks. About 7 villagers or so. In addition to the 2 trebuchets, so all these light cavalry could go down to the ground and it's not going to matter. They're already well worth it. However, Classic Pro is still under a little bit of pressure over here. As Dark was going for extra trebuchets, he managed to get another one, and now Classic Pro is coming over once again. He's diving in with the light cavalry and he's getting away with it. They get the trebuchet down again. A small amount of cheap gold-free cavalry units. But of course, he's still got all the trebuchets up in the north over here to defend against. Let's take a look to see if Dark's paying attention over here. He's losing a bunch of villagers. Trying to keep the castle up, and he's going to lose a few more. It's remarkable to see that despite all of this, all of these losses, Dark's still looking stronger. He's still ahead. Let's actually take a look at the scouts over here. So far, they've got 9 villagers, and it seems like it's not going to be the end of it. Yeah. After 12 villager losses before this army of light cavalry eventually gets cleaned up, plus 2 trebuchets, that's quite some value, man. I just want to see some Lombos. Well, we do have a few over here, but he's not really been prioritizing Lombo man production too much, and he's just got these garrisons for the most part. Just being Arbalesters for him. But Classic Pro's been doing a really good job defending himself. Even if he ends up losing the castle over here, and he did, he does end up taking a bunch of trebuchets down. He does end up getting the raids going. But yeah, even still, Dark's done an even better job with his push, and he still finds himself ahead by about 44 population, 45 population. And even if he's to lose the castle over here, it's already taken a lot of defenses from Classic Pro down, which means if Dark starts going for the light cavalry right now, and he will, and he starts just pouring the light cavalry straight into Classic Pro's base, there won't be really much of anything from Classic Pro to stop the light cavalry from getting the villagers down, right? We have 110 villagers total for Classic Pro, and there is only 1 DC and 1 castle for him to protect the entirety of his economy, which is, may I say, not sufficient. May I say, at all. Yeah, and Classic Pro calls GG right there. So Dark, 1-0 after the first game of the series. We'll see what we get for game number 2. Gonna take a look at the achievements and then jump into the next one right away, right after a quick commercial for non-subs. And let's go through the achievements really quickly. So what do we get? For military then, it's gonna be a 3-to-2 KD ratio in favor of Dark. We have for economy a stronger economy for Dark as well, collecting well over 2,000 extra resources compared to Classic Pro. Of course, he ended up losing a lot of that, and the villagers and the churches he ended up losing, but his momentum was always there and very strong. Towards the end of the game, we saw a lot of losses for Classic Pro as well, so that offsets for all the losses that Dark took for his own economy. If we do the math really quickly, we see that Classic Pro lost 43 villagers throughout the game, while Dark, on the other hand, he ended up losing 44 villagers throughout the game. Gulen would be better for Classic Pro? Yeah, perhaps. Let's jump into game number 2. There we go, guys. Humans versus Tatars. An outcrop. This is a map where humans can actually be very strong. Let me take a look at the map stats for the tournament. 1 second. Maps. Yes, I got it. So, from the Red Bull Wololo Legacy map pack, we see that for outcrops specifically, humans are the 2nd most popular civilization, while Tatars are the 4th most popular civilization. So yeah, about this tournament, it's basically Red Bull Wololo Legacy from what I get for players who do not get to participate in the main event. So it's going to be a, the same settings, the same maps. Same settings in the sense that we have the same settings than the qualifiers, actually, not the main event, because the main event is going to be group stage. But yeah, for this one, we have same maps. We have still the time limit. That kind of, like, in regards to the settings, that's what's going to be the same compared to Red Bull. Nice. Beautiful. Up in the north, there is a 2nd TC coming up already for Dark. And this is what you're expecting to see from Kumans. That's just what they go for. However, it shouldn't take too long for Classic Pro to go up to the Castle Age. That's usually what you see with players against Kumans on Empire Wars, because you already begin with a working economy. You can go up to the Castle Age. It doesn't really take that long, and usually you're able to go up by about the time the Kumans finish building their 2nd TC, but it doesn't seem like Classic Pro is making a play for the Castle Age. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Classic Pro's approach over here, because if he's just gonna play for the Fuel Age aggression, Dark's just going to get ahead. That's already 1 villager going down. From Dark over here, the 3rd villager total, as a matter of fact. And up in the north, we're gonna see Classic Pro. Yeah. Actually, the 1st villager the Dark was able to kill. And we have a 4th villager going down over there. From Dark to Classic Pro's own archers. It's gonna be a fire forfeited in this tournament. I have not been keeping track of the tournament, like, at all. We are making a switch to this one after being done with Valhalla, right? So I'm not really sure. Cool one nonetheless. Yeah. It's It's good.
Hazır. Emriniz. Evet. Kulluk eder mi? Emriniz ki madem. Hazır.
Nice defense for Dark. Still though, he's taken the most villager losses, and Classic Pro is finally on his way to the castle age. Dark did manage to get the second TC up already, however he's only 3 villagers ahead, which is not too much in Classic Pro. If it weren't because of the villager kills, he definitely would be further behind for sure, but now getting up to the castle age means that he should be able to go for either extra TCs and catch up. It's not impossible against humans when you're going up at the same time as when you're going up with your village account still somewhat comparable, right? While Dark on the other hand is gonna go up to the castle age sometime soon as well, but it's not going to be with anywhere near as strong of a villager lead compared to what we get from humans in this situation on different game modes.
Hazır.
Let's take a look to see if there's going to be an engagement over here. Not really sure. A little bit. Classic Pro targets the villager, yeah. But he's unable to do too much over here. In the end, he gets an archer down from Dark. Dark gets an archer down from Classic Pro, and they're just going to disengage. So we're going to have to wait for the Crossman upgrade for Classic Pro. But once again, though, is that going to be extra TCs for him instead? He's got a lot of archers forward, so going for Crossman and blocking arrows certainly seems like it should be the priority. But he will still have enough wood to go for a second TC. And if he does manage to get a third TC up before Dark is able to click up to the castle age, then he should be able to catch up in villager count, assuming that he can keep all 3 TCs working. But Dark's getting very close to having enough resources to go up to the castle age, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be possible for Classic Pro to catch up. Nice pressure though from Classic Pro. He does not pushing villagers away from gold in any case. It's good. It's good. Dark's gonna have to defend himself. Pretty good pressure from Classic Pro still. He's coming in though, Classic Pro. He's trying to breach through. However, Dark's already gotten a market up over here. Yeah, and now Classic Pro should realize. So Dark's gonna be in the castle age in a moment, and Classic Pro still has not managed to get the second TC out, so it's quite clear that Dark's going to remain ahead in worker count over here, compared to as if Classic Pro had tried to go for the 2 additional TCs as soon as he got to the castle age and then tried to catch up, right? But now Dark's going to remain ahead, and that's going to put him in a pretty good position in the castle age. Classic Pro Civilization will give him additional damage when fighting against enemy units from higher elevation. His civilization is going to give him extra sheep underneath each new ability TC, which is going to be extra food for free, which is great. 30s is finally on the way for Classic Pro, but Dark's already in the castle age. And yeah, finally Tata's civilization will give Classic Pro free Thundering and free Parthian tactics. So at the very least, he does not need to pay for those upgrades, and these archers are going to be pretty strong. He's got a good amount of cavalry archers right now as well, which is great. Especially with free Thundering, the cavalry archers are so much stronger as well, going from 50% accuracy to 100.
Emriniz hazır. Emriniz ki madem.
Beautiful.
hazır. Emriniz
Let's check.
kulluk eder mi? Buyur halas. Emriniz
Yeah, that's pretty good.
hazır.
Dark's defense over here with the skirmishers going to suffice against the cavalry archers and the crosses for the time being, and Classic Pro is struggling over here, does not have anything else to complement this push with. He needs some siege. You know, the skirmishers he's got are not even upgraded to elite skirmishers, and they are all completely out of position on the left hand side. Meanwhile, Dark's got the 30C coming up. He's still ahead by about 8 villagers, and Classic Pro did manage to get the 30C up sooner though. He's got another stable coming up, so actually that's the first stable, isn't it? Dude! There's the first stable! Oh boy! I didn't know about this, man. When are you gonna play on stream, Noah? Ah, not anytime soon. White Knight, sorry. It's just not a high priority currently. I might do some gameplay for the campaigns, perhaps. But it's going to be mostly for my YouTube channel, I think. I don't think I'm going to do any competitive gameplay. At the very least, not this year. Next year, perhaps. I'm trying to get things in line to start try hard in next year. Didn't expect to. Was joking. I know I would like to, but a little bit. It's not something that I want anybody to expect to see on stream. I've been focusing on casting, right? But yeah, thank you. I will, of course.
Evet. Kulluk eder.
But yeah, next year I would like to see if I can find the time to start try harding a little bit more. I would like to try and get my elo back to where it should be in the first place, and then try to pick it from there. Kind of embarrassing to see the 1100 next to my name over there. For being a caster, of course, there's nothing wrong about being 1100. It's just that it takes some credibility away, and it's not actually accurate. So I want to get it at the very least up to 1400 first. My elo was close to 1700 back in Woobly, which is about 1400 on the equivalent, but yeah, I need to get back in shape first. That's still like top 40%? 1100? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, we're probably about the same elo then. I like Classic Pro's position more here. Well, I don't know about that. The problem that I saw from Classic Pro is that his push was not strong enough, and he did not manage to go for a strong enough eco behind it either. So he kind of half-heartedly went for the push without siege, couldn't do anything, got pushed away by skirmishers, and his economy is not strong enough to offset for the villager lead the Dark has had for the longest part in the game. So if you take a look at their economy time, Dark has gotten close to 2 hours of additional gallery economy time. That's going to be about 1,000 extra resources or so. Let me take a look at the eco stats over here. Oh god, 3,000 extra resources already for Dark. Amazing. Go Tatters? Well, you're certainly rooting for them, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's going to go the Tatter way. Things are looking really strong over here. Dark's looking really strong. Cavalry Archer strong? Cavalry Archer strong, yeah. We have 33. True. Classic Pro might be the first player going up to the Imperial Age, for instance. If he does get up and he gets free Parthen tactics. he gets potentially heavy cavalry archer, maybe silk armor at some point as well. That could be something that Dark's going to struggle very much against. But Dark seems like he's gonna be the one going up to the Imperial Age first, though. Oh man. If you ever need a practice partner, Nova, you can ask me and I probably can fit some games in. Yeah, definitely. I do appreciate that very much. Gameplay is not currently in my priority, very high in my priority list. So to say, there are so many other things that I need to do first, but if all goes well, I'll be in pretty decent shape in terms of my studies by next year, the things that I need to learn for the things that I want to do for my stream. I'm very close to finishing one of the courses that I'm taking, and if all goes well, I already will have a pretty efficient workflow for keeping my YouTube channel active, for keeping my socials active, and still have enough time to actually play the game when I am not casting. We'll see. Will the Cavalry Archer have all their armor upgrades? The Cavalry Archer, right now for the Castle Age, yeah, we have Leather Archer armor, but without the castle, Classic Pro cannot go for Silk armor. So that's still gonna be lacking. Dark's going out to the Imperial Age. Both players are going out to the Imperial Age. Classic Pro's going up a little bit faster though. Nice man shot. This one goes down though. Yeah, not the most cost-effective trades over there for Classic Pro in the end. Was Rocket League Pro? Yeah, you wish. I'm barely top 20% on Rocket League. Do not take it too seriously. I just started college. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's gonna take some time for sure. When I talk about my studies, I just mean about stuff that I study on my own, courses that I do online and stuff. Mostly for things that I want to do for my stream or my YouTube channel or that kind of stuff. Anyway, what's your rank then? Depends on the league. I peaked at Diamond 3 in 1v1s. 3v3 I think I was champ 1. But I always play with my friends, which are not quite as good. Or are worse, rather. Even worse. Good defense. Classic Pro is keeping the castle at bay. Dark had to pull the villagers away, and the Magnus might actually be able to take the foundation down. If Dark's unable to secure the castle coming up over here, the Magnus will take care of these units of this foundation as well. Man, that is a lot of damage Dark is taking over here. I have time, I'm level 17 right now, so yeah, that makes sense. Dude, I don't want to be the old guy, but take advantage of the time that you have, because then when you're older, you're not going to have time for anything. I really wish I could go back to my teens and actually take advantage of all the time that I had and think back to all the time that I wasted, and it's so cringe. I wouldn't be learning the basic stuff that I'm learning about programming right now if I had taken on that when I was young. It would have been significantly easier as well. Your brain is so much more plastic. Plastic, malleable, adaptable. Like, you have much more plasticity than anybody who's over 25 years old or so. So you have still about 8 good years for getting good at anything you want pretty quickly. So if there's anything that you're passionate about, even if it's Age of Empires, even if it's Rocket League or a game or whatever, just put your time and energy into it. You're going to get so good so fast. Oh man, yells at what? Sorry. Let's keep on focusing on the game. We already have heavy cavalry archers. However, that's a lot of skirmishers over here, and both players are trying to get the castles up. They're close, actually. It seems like Dark should be able to get the castle out faster, though. Yeah, there's just the one villager over there. The Classic Pro's about to lose, and there we go. The villager goes down. The castle gets denied from Classic Pro. Beautiful. The game volume? Yeah. Sure thing. Let's try it over there. Yeah, don't worry. I'm keeping myself from casting. It's not you. I usually do get distracted a little bit. I'll try not to too much. But yeah, this game is certainly looking pretty good for Dark still. I feel like he's had maybe not momentum. He's got momentum right now, but he's had a lead in the game for the vast majority of time since the very beginning, basically getting the second TC, getting away with it, getting ahead in villager count, and Classic not really going for any extra military units. Actually, sorry, not any extra TCs early on in the castle age, wasn't able to catch up, and then Dark stronger economy took off from there. And if you take a look at gather economy time right now, we have gotten over close to over 7 hours, close to 7 extra hours of gather economy time for the green player compared to red. So Classic Pro is unfortunately kind of on the back foot, and it seems like Dark is going to end up taking this one if things keep on going the way they've been going so far. A lot of extra villages going down on the left hand side to the Hazard. 15 villager kills from these 5 Hazard only. There's ridiculous damage. 17 villagers. 18 villagers. Classic Pro calls GG. What else do you do in this position? You cannot do much of anything. Dark takes game number 2. That's going to be 2-0. And game 3 is already going to be match point, which I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see. But when you have such a strong player like Dark performing the way he's been performing these 2 games, you kind of accept the fact that this might very well be a very quick set. Before we jump into game number 3 then, let's take a look at the achievements really quickly. And of course we know that the economy was so much stronger for Dark throughout the game. If we take a look at the KD, actually it's going to be so much better for Classic Pro. With about 6 to 5 KD ratio, however, it did not matter because despite the fact that he was able to get more units, the trades were not the most cost efficient. He was trading cavalry archers for skirmishers. And if you take a look at the economy, obviously there were thousands upon thousands of extra resources Dark was able to collect, which means that he was able to afford all the losses he was taking. Classic Pro, not so much. For society, we're going to see also a stronger villager max count for Dark, about 20 higher compared to Classic Pro, and towards the end of the game, of course, it was significantly higher. Throughout the game, Dark ended up losing 21 villagers, while Classic Pro ended up losing 84 villagers. And there we are, guys. Welcome everyone to game number 3. Match point. Dark up 2-0 against Classic Pro. For civilizations, we have Dravidians for Classic Pro. Dravidians versus Magyars. I'm not too sure about this. You know, the Magyars are an incredible civilization for Atacama. First off, they're going to get a discount on scout production of 15%, and then they also get the attack upgrades from the blacksmiths for free. So, for melee units, that is forging, iron cast, and blast furnace. And you can see he already gets forging over here, and well, Dark's going for a stable. He's going for the archer range. Oh boy, he knows about the archer ranges from Classic Pro as well. Classic Pro, what he gets with Dravidians is extra resources, which kind of boosts his military production early on, but that's about it. Classic Pro's huge winning chance was getting into Dark's base when Dark clicked up. Otherwise, Command Double TC was just too strong to stop. Yeah, he could have done that. He could have played for stronger economy himself and for the later stages of the game as well if he had gone for full economy once he got to the castle age. But unfortunately, he went for neither thing and ended up getting cleaned up. Of course, now we'll see what we get for game number 3 so far. You know, just taking a look at civilizations over here, I I like Magyars, but I simply do. I feel like the scouts are so much more deadly. So much deadlier, rather, but... He's making a play for the archer range. So we see skirmishers over here. I mean, it's good, potentially, if he trades for archers. And potentially spearmen over here. It could be really good for him still, but he's not gonna do any damage. He's just going to prevent Classic Pro from doing any damage himself, and he's going to cause Classic Pro to waste resources, but... Yeah, that'll be about it, basically.
Jó napot!
Beautiful. Finally, a stable's coming up now for Dark. But players going for the docks, up in the north for Dark, down the south for Classic Pro. We have a second fishing ship coming out for Classic Pro. Meanwhile, Dark still has not killed out the first fishing ship. So worker count's gonna be a little bit higher for Classic Pro in a moment. He did get the first fishing ship out, but also 26 seconds of idle TC time, so... Like kind of offsets. Cancels out.
Parancs. Szolgálatára. Igen. Parancs.
A lot of skirmishers the Dark's gone for. Have not prevented him from collecting a good amount of food and potentially being the first player to go up to the castle age. The game is not stabilizing, by the way. On the right hand side, we still have a second group of units coming over from Classic Pro, and then on the left hand side, they are fighting against each other, so there is a little bit of action happening before we get to the castle age. But it does seem certain that Dark's gonna be the first player to click up, though. At the very least, that seems like it's the case, given the current resources from both players. Whoa! Anatop! Thank you so much for the raid! It's very much appreciated. Welcome you guys, welcome everyone. I hope you have a great stream. We're streaming in English? I hope you had a great stream. And I hope you guys coming from Anatop stream enjoyed as well. We are casting game number 3 between Classic Pro and Dark. This is for the World Series of Empire Wars, which you can get more information about. Exactly, thank you, Just2, by using the command in the title. We're gonna be taking a look at this tournament for sure, while we wait for next week, hopefully for Double Cup 3 to begin. Have you guys heard of Double Cup 3? You certainly should take a look at it. It's on AoE Zone, AoEzone.net. It's the second announcement underneath Red Bull Wololo Legacy, actually. And it's coming up next month. Double Cup 3 is going to be an incredible one. It's going to be an amazing one with double and triple TC start maps only in the map pool. Is going to be fantastic. And I think it doesn't really have too many signups yet. So if there are players that you would like to see sign up for the tournament, you probably can drop by their streams or yeah, just suggest them. Or let them know. Maybe they do not know about the tournament just yet. I'm streaming in English, but I missed a bunch of big raids. Still new to streaming. Enjoy yourself. Ah, okay. Thank you, on top. No problem. Good to see you streaming, man. Good to see you streaming. Always love to see the community grow. 2, 3, 4 villages going down already. Classic Pro has taken 6 villager losses so far, and it's not going to be the end of it. Another villager going down. That was so close. I think if he committed to it, he would have been able to get the village down, probably at the cost of 1 or 2 scouts still. But Classic Pro, he's got the counter push going. So far, he's been able to get only 2 villagers. That's a scary amount of archers. If he's able to breach in and get to an exposed area around Dark Space, he should be able to get some extra picks, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be necessarily the case right away. As a matter of fact, Dark still has incredible momentum over here. If he's able to get the tower down, he's probably going to end up sniping 1 or 2 additional villagers, not all of them, as they are just going to go towards the TC. Well, unless Dark's not paying attention, but he will end up getting 1 village down, at the very least. Is that going to be 2? Not quite. But yeah, Classic Pro gets to the Castle Age. I thought it was going to be Dark, the first player to go up to the Castle Age, but he ended up kind of fully committing to the Fuel Age, going for an incredible amount of scouts. He's been able to do a lot of damage, and now, while Classic Pro is already in the Castle Age, he's behind by 8 villagers. 6 of those is gonna be just from the fact that the TC did not have the time to create villagers while going after the Castle Age. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of extra villagers going down. 15 villager losses already for Classic Pro. But you know what? Is this on purpose? It seems like he was, you know, the villager count was not too awful for Classic Pro. He was just behind by 2 villagers when you normalize for the Castle Age research time, but losing all the villagers over here, that certainly puts him in a much more precarious position. I thought maybe he wanted to weaken the scouts so that he can get a good push going with a smaller Castle Age army, right? But that was not good. He ended up losing a lot. Now there's a lot of catching up to do. Dark's on his way to the Castle Age and he's 11 villagers ahead, so Classic Pro's gotta get at the very least, 8 to 9 villagers over here just to catch up to Dark in terms of economy. Let me take a look at gather economy time. Yeah, it's looking better for Dark, of course, and it's just going to keep on getting stronger and stronger from this point onwards compared to Classic Pro. Yeah, this is more like it. This is more like it. So he's getting the scouts down. These are, of course, not super strong from the Fuel Age against crossbows. If these were like cavalry, that'd be an entirely different matter. But in the end, he does end up trading for a good amount of scouts. He does end up losing the crosses as well, but he does trade for a good amount of scouts. And he pushed Dark away from some of the farms. He pushed him away from the goal, which is huge. Yeah, now Classic Pro's got some momentum. The villager count is only 2 lower for Classic Pro, just 2 fewer villagers compared to Dark. Yeah, and you know what? Gather economy time has gotten better for Classic Pro compared to Dark, so he's finally on the lead. And it took a strong push over here, but he got away with it. Now we'll see if he can come in. Nice cleanup over here from Dark. He's gotten the light cavalry upgrade. Chain Bartender was coming up as well. Fantastic. So with Dark, he's gotten access to the gold again. That's, I think, the only gold that he's got access to. If he got pushed away from there, he does not have any extra golds for it. I mean, like, this one is not really his, right? He would have to go and get some map control over there. Maybe the one on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, for Classic Pro, on the other hand, he does have the goal, the starting goal, right? And then the left-hand side one seems to be a little bit more accessible. And then this one, he still has not gotten control of. Dark's starting to collect some stone, which means we could very well see a castle drop coming up in the future. And if that were to be the case, where could we see a castle drop from Dark? Well, forward over here, that'll be ideal. Probably around this area, I would say. Maybe around here. Or maybe around here so that he can also deny these resources, you know. This. The wood. That'd be really good. Beautiful snipes. Oh man, Dark's taking a lot of losses. A lot of losses. He does have his own counter push coming up over here, but with the pikemen already in place for Classic Pro to defend this economy with, the light cavalry are unlikely to achieve too much of anything, so yeah, it's looking better for Classic Pro. Finally, for game number 3. If he keeps momentum and given the huge military lead that he's got versus Dark, he might be able to, but if he keeps momentum, might end up taking game number 3 and might end up forcing a 4th game over here for Dark. Which I certainly would prefer very much so, compared to a 3-0. And ideally, I would love to see a 5-game series, of course. That's not how you keep momentum though. He's getting cleaned up. But he does end up trading for a lot of villagers, so even if he ends up losing all the crosses over there, he ended up getting about 1, 2, 3 additional villagers over here. A lot of units went down for Dark around the goal as well, and now Classic Pro starting to go for extra TC, so he's already managed to get on the lead. This is only going to allow him to keep on pulling even further in villager count. Start pulling a lead. Give me a second, I need to sweeten my tea though. It's not going to take too long. Got it. Thank you for your patience. Fantastic. Here we go. Extra village is going down right now from Classic Pro, but it seems it just drops in the bucket. Classic Pro's work count still significantly higher. While Dark's got this push going for though, Classic Pro's got a massive push going up around Dark space as well, getting a bunch of villagers down. I'm not the biggest fan of him chasing a few villagers with his entire army. Just send 2-3 crosses over here and just keep on putting pressure, as opposed to leaving a few archers forward and then chasing with everything else. These 5 villagers, 6 villagers. Yeah, that's not good. That's definitely not good, but he's staying ahead though, in any case. Sorry about the noise. There we go. I'm just mixing my tea. Yeah, you see how much time Dark was able to buy for his economy with these 6 villagers, and because Classic Pro doesn't even have ballistics, the villagers are still alive. Not for much longer, mind you. The villagers are going down now. Very soon, I would imagine, to the crossbows. Yeah, probably. Let's take a look at the mangle over here. Yeah, nice mangle shot. Still the villager goes down though. And finally all the villagers get taken down from Dark. He's going for a forward castle right now. This seems to me like it just delays the inevitable. Classic Pro from this point, he's got such a massive lead that usually players at this level, you're not going to see them throw the game from this position. Usually, emphasis on usually, it's 100% possible for Classic Pro to throw this game because he's a very strong individually. He's a very strong individual, sorry, and while the game is pretty much won at this stage, he might have enough strength to throw it if he's not careful about how he goes in the next 5 to 10 minutes, right? Ah, there we go. Once again, Classic Pro striking with the main army, getting a few villagers down over here. Dark's economy is not particularly efficient. Not to say that Classic Pros is, as both players are under 60% of worker efficiency in the last minute. But it seems like it's going to be even worse for Dark in a moment, right? He's sending the villagers back to work. Yeah, it's going to stabilize. It's going to stabilize, but he'll still be behind by so much. 27 extra villagers already for Classic Pro. Nice. Yeah, and Classicpro's got enough units over here that he doesn't even care about the towers, right? He just dives in and Dark's economy slows to a halt. I firmly believe Classic Pro can pull this up. I would imagine so. That's a bold prediction, but I would also imagine that Classic Pro might be able to take this game. 142 pop versus 66. Just a bit over twice the population. Yeah, that's a lot of villages going down though from Classic Pro. Yeah, definitely not ideal. There to see, are they up on the left hand side? Yeah, that is not good for Dark. Going straight through the pikeman. Man, the game's going to keep on going as long as Dark's willing to put the time into it, because Classic Pro is unable to seal the deal, you know? He's got no siege over here. He definitely would have been able to get the castle down if it started going for rams a while ago. He definitely would have been able to seal the deal if he had gone for a 4 siege workshop to go along the crossbows and the pikemen, but he's not really able to capitalize on his lead so much. And you know, as long as Dark keeps on going, the game's going to keep on going. Basically, it's just going to be, as long as Dark decides he's got a chance over here before he eventually calls it GG. Go. He's had a massive military lead for a while, but not going anywhere with it. Yeah. I'm not really sure what Classic Pro's expectations were, because he just kept on roaming around. It's almost as if he was expecting Dark to have all the villagers available for taking at some point, and he just kept on roaming around the military over here. But of course, Dark has defenses. He's got the towers, he's got the TC. And the archers cannot stay around those for too long. He did dive underneath the tower a few times, but that allowed Dark to get his economy back to work around the TC. And now we have a siege workshop. Mangonel over here coming out of the siege workshop for Dark. He's got 2. So Classic Pro cannot really do too much with these units anymore. He is going up to the Imperial Age, and he's got a castle already, so that'll allow him to go for traps. I think this might be the time Dark eventually calls the GG though, once Classic Pro gets to the Imperial Age, because from that point onwards it should be basically paperwork for Classic Pro to take the game. It's just trebuchets, take the castles down first, Eventually he's going to get to the towers, and then he's going to get to a TC, and Dark's not going to have any defenses anymore. But yeah, the game could have been a lot shorter. Here we go. Third caster coming out from Dark. No way! He's actually getting away with this, but classicpro gets to the Imperial H, and Dark is not going to call the GG just yet. I mean, he's doing good damage. He's got... Yeah, okay, he calls the GG over here. But that was really interesting. The fact that he was getting away with the third castle in the first place, that was not expected at all. So, that means that we do have a fourth game coming up, with game number 3 going in favor of classicpro. It's going to be 2-1 in favor of Dark. And let's take a look at the achievements before jumping into game number 4. We'll see for military. First off, a stronger KD for Dark. It's going to be about 7 to 6. Doesn't matter? No. Why? Because of this. The stronger economy, not only because of that, but also because of this. You draw a line at the 50% mark over here, and you're going to see the military distribution was so one-sided in favor of classicpro that Dark could have gotten a 3-to-1 KD ratio over here, and he still would have been behind. Just the sheer extra resources, the sheer extra units classicpro was able to go for allowed him to secure the game. So we'll take a look at game number 4. Welcome everyone then to the next game of the series. Could very well be the last one. We have Dark playing with Byzantines, classicpro is playing with Chinese. What do we get in terms of military? classicpro is going for the archer range right away, and we have a stable for Dark. It's been so interesting to see in the series so far. Britain stables, now we have a Byzantine stable. You know, against stronger cavalry civilizations. Like, classicpro is technically not a cavalry civilization. The Chinese are technically naval, but not naval, sorry, archery, but still. Oh, a little bit of engagement. Where did the scout go down? Around here somewhere, I'm very sure. Yeah, well, anyway, classicpro lost a scout already, and that's going to leave him blindfolded. He's sending a villager up in the north, though. He's going to try to get the dock up over here. Meanwhile, Dark's already sending a villager down the south. He's going to try and get a dock up here as well. Good defense for classicpro. Good reaction. Let's see though, Dark can get a villager here. Yes, sir! He gets the village. That's gonna be the first eco kill. The fission ships are already coming out from both players. As a matter of fact, Dark's got the second fission ship already on the way. Full stable on the way now for classicpro as well. Nice, nice. Dark's gonna be the first player going out to the castle age. Again, it's been kind of a pattern in the series. Yeah, there we go. So he's up to the castle age, and he's managed to keep up with military production over here at the same time as he's managed to keep up with eco production. It's nothing short of remarkable. Obviously, he does pay less resources, fewer resources for the skirmisher units. That's about it. Scale bar then almost on the way for Dark, indicating what we'll get in the castle age. I would probably expect a second stable, but I think he's sticking to one stable only, and he's got an archer range though. Interesting. So it's going to be a combination of... What is that, like cavalry and skirmishers? That seems kind of off. I mean, it's alright, it's going to be a transition from scouts and skirmishers. It's just not something that you really want to play with in the castle age. You want to get knights, you want to get archers, you want to get siege. And there is no second stable over here, despite him going for the defensive upgrades. Yeah, and he's getting to the castle age, so what is the plan over here? Knights on the way. I like it. Let's see if Dark's able to clean this up. Should be able to. He's got a lot of scouts. So he's gonna take on the scouts from Classic Pro, and he cleans this up. Yes, sir. And he ends up pushing. Classic Pro away. No, Classic Pro is going to get cleaned up for sure. Well done from Dark. He can now turn around and start putting pressure forward as he's got some momentum. Also, Dark's gone for a dock up in the north, and he knows about the dock over here from Classic Pro. Meanwhile, Classic Pro on the other hand has got no idea about Dark's dock. That's gonna be so good for the Russian player though. He's going to push Classic Pro away. From the North Pond. Meanwhile, down south, we have full control of the pond for Dark, so that's going to leave him in a very good spot. By the time Classic Pro gets to the castle age, that's going to give Dark a 3 worker lead or so. And if he's able to clean this up, by the way, he's waiting for the second fire galley. If he's able to clean this up, that's going to give him an even stronger worker lead by about 7 or so. He's been collecting stone quite a lot as well, so it's quite clear Dark's just gonna try to go for a full push over here. He's collecting the relics. He's going to end up getting both ponds. He doesn't need to go for extra TCs. He can just go for the castle and use his strong water economy and villagers in order to sustain production of military units forward. And we're going to see a 4 siege workshop coming up over here. So that's all good and dandy. Classic Pro, on the other hand, gets to the castle age already, and we see wheelbarrow coming up. Are full knights viable for Byzantines? Full knights? Yeah, well, it always depends on the civilization, but Byzantines, they do get paladins, so if they go for knights and there is nothing strong from the other team to counter it, and you get a head start to the Imperial Age, for instance, you can go for Cavalier and Paladin. I have seen that work in the past, but it's like super rare. You seldom see players go for it. Usually you're just going to see them make a switch to Arbalesters. But yeah, technically they can, right? They do get Paladin. Even if it's without bloodlines. Which, to be fair, represents a much smaller portion of the HP, total HP of a fully upgraded Paladin compared to a Knight. So it's not the worst. Yeah, and Dark ends up cleaning up all the fishing ships from Classic Pro. He's got on the War Galley upgrade as well, so he's got some great momentum, guys. He's got the Knights coming in straight into the economy of Classic Pro. At the very least, he's trying to. The Classic Pro's Camel defense over here should be strong enough, I think. It's hard to tell. Classic Pro gets access to Camels, but he's got to pay full price. And he called the GG! Dark was starting to pour some Camels himself, which he pays 25% less for. And that's something that Classic Pro was not going to be able to defend himself against. So he calls the GG in the game for it's going to be the final game of the series over here as Dark gets a final score of 3-1. He is the one to move on to the semifinals. The second player we'll see today. A World Series of Empire Wars. For the rest of the semifinalists, we're going to have to wait for the 2 remaining quarterfinals to be played. I'm not really sure what the schedule and situation is over there. We're going to take a look at the leaderboard. Sorry, not the leaderboard, the brackets for the tournament. And we'll take a look at a few extra things before hopping out. So let's take a look at the achievements first. And we're going to see a 7-to-3 KD ratio for... Actually, yeah, there's a 7-to-3 KD ratio for Dark. We see for economy also a stronger economy for Dark. It's by a small margin, though. Not by a huge. But he did end up spending the resources more effectively. He did not end up losing water control, for instance, while Classic Pro invested into water but could not keep control of it. He paid less for the units he had, so... On top of a stronger KD over here was cheaper units for Dark as well. So everything just went his favor this game. And that's going to be about it. 3-1. Dark moves on. Classic Pro gets knocked out.